Excellent.
Ron, the stage is yours. I will get out the way. Let's rock and roll, baby.
All right. Hello, all. It's been a very interesting day of presentations. There's a lot of possible synergies, and I'm basically on the launch pad. I'm a startup coming out of official startup. So I've been in a bit of a bubble, but it's good to feel that the group we've had today is pretty much on the front edge of the evolution of the hemp and cannabis market into what I'm going to kind of graciously call a more sound industry with better management, because like Rico and sorry, Trevor. Rico and Trevor both said I don't think the industry's been managed as well as it could. And for me, that's an opportunity. So let me see if I can figure out how to share my screen. I think it's that button, and then I think it's going to be that. And there we go. Let's start it. All right, are you guys seeing that? Let's see. Well, you're seeing.
You're live, Ron. You're
okay. Okay, good deal. And then let me shrink that down and let you guys. There we go. Okay. So we are Cosmic Cowboys Extractions north of Houston in Texas. Texas made hemp CBD products legal in January. The farmers could plant their first rows in July, and I got my official processing and sales licenses in September. I've been working on this project actually for 2 years, and our mission is to alter the industry to generate a niche for ourselves, and that niche is very much along the lines with solar, just a better product. And so our mission is to take our process, which isn't really an extraction. We harvest, we make hash, and we're the first that we know of that have industrialized the ability to harvest trichomes off of the plants and then use an infusion method to infuse oil with the remaining product after the harvest. And then we make a third product from the used leaf in the end, and that's paper. So we have 99.9% product utilization. And that gives us just a generalized ROI of about 25 to 1. I'm going to blow through this really quick. You guys have seen these numbers before. Concentrates and edibles are pretty much where the market's going. Smokes or smokables are dying off. And I even think concentrates are starting to die off. I think people want to have fun. And right now the industry feels like you're buying products from CVS or whatnot. And it's growing. Edibles have a problem still. They're not consistent. They don't really have a good shelf life, and it's because of the raw material, the BHO, which is being run out of the country and the industry, and even CO2 is just an unsatisfactory process as far as I'm concerned. So again, that presents an opportunity for me to take our hash product and replace the products they make with better products, because we retrieve 100% of what the plant has to offer. We use no chemicals. We don't use any pressure, no heat. So we do not alter the compounds. You get them as they grew on the plant. So the solution to all of that is better processing, and we make hash. We got a patent on an industrial machine and process that's copied the way they've done it for thousands of years. And we believe that this is where the industry is going to go: healthier, smarter, cheaper. The My Cure All, that's a great idea. I never even thought about that layer. I would love to discuss an exploratory conversation with you guys. I'm actually a data applications developer by career. I've written huge applications, nothing in the medical or health industry, but I'd love to have a discovery conversation with you guys about that stuff. You guys know CBD, THC. It's got miracle properties. We're learning more and more about it every day. Again, our product is a superior product because we don't alter its composition in any way. So the current Texas market opportunity, where I'm at right now for Cosmic Cowboys extractions, is because it's brand new. You could start selling it in January, but it didn't really kick off until early summer. But of course, subpar product flooded the market. The retailers are sitting on a year's inventory of bad product. Edibles are underrepresented. They're undermarketed. And unfortunately, the smaller farmers and the mid-sized farmers, actually, I'm starting to hear, are being left out of this process because the big boys, the big processors that are flooding Texas with this subpar product just aren't interested. They're doing hundreds of thousands of pounds of processing a week. And, you know, these little guys that have 4 acres, they're just out of the loop. So that's an opportunity for us. We're generating, with the help of the University System of Texas, a co-op field in Texas, and we're taking care of these small growers on the front side so they don't fall to the wayside and these large corporations be able to dictate terms of the game. It's just not a Texas thing to do. So we're getting together, and I'm getting prices on raw material from these first harvests that allow me to produce superior product at half of what the per milligram cost is for these large international organizations. And I think that's going to let us not only compete with higher quality, but in the short run, the next 3 or 4 harvests, price as well. I think we'll be able to price ourselves in. And this is going to offer some insurance to these growers, as I'm willing to pay in advance to put down the seeds that I would like to see grown, pay them another third at harvest, and then give them a little bit of a bump from the retail. Again, that's all data and it's all information, and I'm very interested in doing that. And then finally, in the state of Texas, if you go to the Texas Department of Agriculture's website, there are 5 licensed processors in the state of Texas, and I own 2 of them. One of the other 3 is almost done with their one-shot $3 million CO2 extraction, and the other 2 have gone quiet. So it looks like right now, if you want to process Texas-grown hemp in Texas with a Texas company, I'm it. So I'm on the launch pad. And I'm ready to go into full functioning operations. And so I'm raising funds. This is my first attempt to raise funds. I think we're legit. We've got the products. We've got the website. We've been selling for a few months. We've worked through the kinks, and we understand the market area way better today than we did just 2 or 3 months ago. So our use of funds is, I don't know if I can get it to work. All right, so there we go. First, the organizational structure, just so that you're aware. I am the owner, founder, CEO of this organizational structure. There's RE Value Investments, a subchapter S, which I own 100% of the shares, and it started all 3 of these Cosmic Cowboys, one in Colorado, one in Oregon, one in Texas. Colorado and Oregon pay taxes, well, 0, because they don't have any operations, but they're in advance of what my strategy is, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. The first 2 of these 3 projects that I'm running and raising capital for involves Texas. This is our breakdown. You can see the primary expenses here. Total ask right now is $8.9 million. The expanding into the major markets of Texas, which right now I'm only selling in a 50-mile radius, is kind of a pilot program to see how it goes. And the information you saw earlier matches completely with what we learned. It's mostly women. It's mostly somewhere between boutique or higher middle class products that people are demanding. And that's why we're branding our niche as a superior product at a competitive price with our gold dust hash. And we want to take that to the entire state of Texas starting in January. Then we want to go into other hemp market states. bounding borders to Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, et cetera, and a few others. And then the THC state expansion, we'll get into. Those are the three major costs involved with these projects. So we need an actual production facility. We are already in construction phase with a developer. We're buying a 7,000 square foot building. They had to drop it from 8,000 to 7,000 square feet. So that's just cheaper, but it's not really going to change our numbers. To get our production facility up and running, to staff it with enough employees, office equipment, the machine build, our patent of our machine, we're still operating using our 5th version of our prototype, and it's just not going to be able to supply more than a 50 or 100 mile radius worth of products on a regular basis. So we already have received the drawings from a food processing machine manufacturing company and have worked out a deal with them. We need money to build our first full production machine, and the total cost for that, 3 iterations, is about $350,000. And then, of course, we need to, as time grows over the next 6 months, more and more product manufacturing equipment and packaging and shipping. Packaging and shipping is of course going to be a major expense, and then human resource costs, about $500,000. So real briefly, this is our production facility right here. I know it's hard to see. The build out on it's going to be about $250,000. We have 4 cold rooms that we build as needed. One on the front side, one probably 3 months later, another one, another 3 months later, another one. Then we've got our post-processing areas. The cold room is cold. It's humidity controlled and temperature controlled in the mid-50s. Zone 2, where we actually make the product, and post-processing has to be low micron filter, 50 micron, probably humidity controlled, UV lighting. And then, of course, just our standard offices, shipping, delivery, garage. And that's already in the works. This is a conceptual drawing of our stand-up machine. You can see it's about a 20 by 20 footprint. Running at 50% capacity, we can do about 9,600 grams of hash and 150 gallons of our secondary product, infused oil, every week. That represents round about 36,000 individual items for sale. If you break it down to what we've been doing for the last year or so, running with real numbers, that comes out to a cost to us for those 36,000 individual items of about $350,000, but it has a wholesale value of about $670,000. So the ROI is really high, and then we plan on making some money on intellectual property as well. We've got a lot of designs that go into this, that this same company has agreed to do a lot of R&D with us, and they're going to put a little bit of money in the game because they want to sell these machines east of the Mississippi, where we're not really going to compete. We're going to go west. We don't really have any desire to go to Illinois or Maine. We might go to Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, but again, that's out of the scope. Then we need some general processing equipment. Here's a quick rundown on state expansion, which is about a $5 million spend for us. Colorado, Oregon, Washington, Nevada. Real briefly, what we want to do there is we want to take our machine and we want to come into exclusive hash production agreements with one or more organizations in those states. We understand that they're buying now from guys that are doing it in their garage, which, you know, I'm doing the same thing, so I'm not giving a hard time. It's just hash is becoming more and more demand because people know what hash is, and they're going to need a better supply chain for that, and we want to provide it. Whereas the CBD, we actually want to take our operations, move there, and be on the wholesale production side in CBD. We're not silly enough to get in down to 3-point stances with these companies that already own and run the states that have been recreational legal for several years. So I understand how to get in that market. And that works out for us. Again, I'm blowing through this. If our plan goes to full fruition, we're looking at about $5 million a month in revenue on this $9 million spend by the end of next year, possibly as soon as the beginning of the fourth quarter. And we're looking for those exclusivity agreements to be no longer than 2 years, because this basically is a 5-year play. I expect to have PE involvement sometime in 2024 with large cash infusions by 2025 to take it to the next level. And I'll start moving out and letting the new owners put their crew in to begin to run it. The Texas expansion, $1.5 million. If you do it just based on a head count, it's just under $2 billion CBD market in Texas. Again, we're only selling in about a 50-mile radius right now. We want to go to, there's actually 7 major markets greater than $500,000 in Texas. And then the smaller markets, we believe that statewide revenue for us would be exceptional, and we definitely don't want to miss that. So, you know, it could be $15 million worth of monthly revenue if we gather 20% of the market area, which is of the entire state, and that's, again, our target. And then past 2021 into 2022, I mentioned sales and licensing of intellectual properties and next generation technology. I'm not going to mention it here, but we've got it already. We need to go to the next level so we can have the budget and the revenue stream to begin R&D on that technology. And I believe that, you know, a 400% production increase, same product, just quicker, easier, cheaper, and disclaimer stuff. So that in a nutshell is Cosmic Cowboys extractions, Texas, Colorado, and Oregon. And I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Great job, Ron. Appreciate you, man. Looking forward to continue to work with you. I understand the dynamic process. If I can help you in any way in Oregon, especially, you know, I'm with University of Oregon, so I might know 1 or 2 people up there that might be able to grease the wheels of the process.
That would be great.
Okay.
I'm going to be looking to shake that tree probably in January or February.
Let's have that conversation tomorrow.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I'll actually just sent some of my old teammates. I was a captain at the game last year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Play a little football up there.
Yeah.
I know a little bit, something. But anyway, my brain just started clicking off people that I know might be good synergistic partners up in Oregon. So let's circle back around. Thank you so very much for your time, energy, and effort. And I appreciate you, my friend.